Then start the class. All of you, sit straight now. Practice this process of sitting straight, correct? Okay, and deep breathing first, deep exhalation. So this pranayama is a wonderful exercise. First, at least to make sure you enjoy very good physical health, and then you can focus on dhyanam, which will give you tremendous mental power. So, who is having any problem of health, practice pranayama systematically, deep inhalation, retain for as long as possible, and then exhale consciously, relax your physical body and also quieten your mind. All these just four simple steps you have to follow and practice this regularly every day, at least 3 times a day, if not 3 times at least. Early morning, every day you practice. You can see after 3 6 months how nicely your health would have improved. As you practice this traditional method of pranayama, you'll be able to increase the duration of holding your breath. All I'm telling is practical, nothing is theoretical. That you'll start feeling. And when you hold the breath for a long period of time and focus on the fact that you're holding the breath and observe that there is no breathing happening, either inhalation or exhalation, your mind will reach tremendous depths of quietude. Try that now. So with this process of focused pranayama, one should quieten the mind, and also your body should be relaxed. And when the mind is calm, Upanishad mantra says, with understanding of the study of the Vedanta Shastras about the Brahma Tattva, supreme principle, one should do dhyanam, upasana on that supreme principle called Brahman. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Tat jalaniti shanta upasita. So, shanta upasita. Mind should be calm. So, this is something that all the meditation courses, people who take money for no, all these courses, no, they don't know. This is tradition. One should first calm the mind before doing dhyanam, and this dhyanam should be on the absolute supreme truth, which is what? Sarvam khalu. Idam sarvam khalu. Everything around you is verily Brahman. How? By studying the Vedanta Shastra, you will understand that. And that Brahman is also responsible for creation, sustenance, and dissolution. Tat Jalan. That is the special name given here. And so, one of the aspects that we can connect with is the consciousness principle of Brahma Tattvam. And that is something that you can recognize when you look at yourself. So, since it's difficult to understand this supreme principle that is everywhere, Upanishad mantra points to the same principle present within your own physical body, which is there in the body but not having the nature of the matter principle of the body. Ashariram sharireshu anavasthveshvavasthitam mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Sharireshu ashariram. Within the physical body, there is this supreme consciousness principle, which is different, distinctly different from the matter principle. Sharireshu, within the shariram, ashariram, doesn't have the nature of the physical body. That's the beauty. Present in the body, but not connected with the body. So, not connected with the variation happen within the physical body, the mind, the sense organs, the intellect, unshakable, unflinching. So, when you recognize you are the supreme principle, then you will also be immune to all the variations that are happening to your physical body, sense organs, mind, intellect, emotion, stress, everything. That is the process. Ashariram sharireshu anavasthveshvavasthitam. Though present in all the three states of experience, it is unaffected by any of the three states, whether waking state, dream state, or deep sleep state. So many of you get some nightmares during dreams, and so you connect with it and you get very scared. So by remembering this mantra, you should understand that your true nature is disconnected totally from the dream state. What happens in dream is also unreal. What happens in waking state also is truly unreal. And so you know that your true nature is that of pure consciousness, existence, and bliss. So beyond the three states of experience, it's called Chaturtham Turiyam. Tham Mahan. That's why it's the greatest principle. Though being in all the three states is not affected, though being within the physical body does not have the nature of physical body. That's why it's the greatest principle. Greatness is not being totally disconnected and saying I'm unaffected. The greatness is when you are within all the action, all the challenges, all the problems, and also being unaffected. That is greatness. Tam Mahan Vibhum, the most glorious. That Vibhum, that Vibhuti only we are going to study in the 10th chapter. So, Vibhum, and where is it? Atmanam, your own true nature. Aha. I've been searching for this all over the universe. It is your own true nature. Atmanam. What you should do? Matva. Matva. Matihi means understanding. Sit down with the Guru. Study the Vedanta Shastra systematically till you are established in doubtless knowledge. That is what is called as Matihi, Matva. Then you become a Dhiraha, person focused on this ultimate truth. Nashochati, go beyond all the sorrows. Every day we go through so many challenges. 1 minute we are very happy, next minute we are driven into sorrow, some kind of disappointment, some kind of emptiness in the mind. Only by the knowledge of the Atman, you can be always ever energetic, ever positive. So let's dedicate to study Vedanta Shastras. Now through the 10th chapter, Bhagavan is going to talk about Vibhum, the Vibhuti. Let's understand that. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः निधये सर्वविद्यानां षडे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अपार करुणा सिंधुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखर गुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्महम् ओम यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः Om Shri Krishnaya Paramatmane Namaha. All of you know, switch on cameras and chant all the 6 slokas with lot of devotion and dedication. Om Shri Ganesha Namaha, Shri Saraswati Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Teshamevanukampartham Ahamajnanajam Tamaha नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिः तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितं न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम् येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परं यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधाः ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता दशमोऽध्यायः विभूतियोगः ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्ति लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी ॐ Understand sloka number 2, which we learned in the last class, 10.2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha न मे विदुःसुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः ओम शांति शांति शांति. Hardam Swagatam, hearty welcome to the next session on the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What is the name of the 10th chapter? All of you should be, I want to see whether you are active or not. 10th chapter is called as Vibhuti Yoga. Don't say Vibhuti Yogam. So in Tamil, people say Vibhuti. Okay. That's why purposely I'm emphasizing Vibhuti. If you want to put W or U on and a line on top, even when you say, don't say Vibhuti. Vibhuti. Or don't say Vibhuti. Na, in Tamil you had Vibhuti written. You say no. Na, always at na. Vibhuti in solnon. Okay. Now, what is the focus of the 10th chapter? Now write down. So all that I'm saying is not available in ebook or internet or all from all this. No, people who don't know Vedanta, they teach Gita and all will not get any of these things there. Write down that both the spiritual path as well as the goal of the 10th and 11th chapter is what systematically move from these things. Write down from the known to the unknown. The known, which is the matter principle, which is visible to you, which is subject to the understanding of your five sense organs, cognizable, that is known, to the unknown, which is pure consciousness, existence, bliss absolute. From sound to silence, all this chanting, and what both physical chanting, mental chanting, intellectually understanding is all nothing but sound, variations of different sounds, right? Sound to silence, absolute silence. Why the supreme principle is absolute silence? You all should know. Ashabdam. First definition. Ashabdam asparsham. Ashabdam means what? Does not fall into the category of sound. So, what is second principle? Can write 1, 2, 3. From what? Known to the unknown. Unknown because it is incomprehensible by the normal mind, normal intellect. It requires special qualification. Write down the qualification required to understand Supreme is called Guru Shastra Sampradaya Susamskrita Manaha. All these are required. Shastram, Guru, Sampradayam, and Susamskritam. All four required to cognize. That is why it is unknown to the normal mind. So, from the known, which is physically visible and comprehensible, to the unknown, that is the journey. From sound to silence, from action to inaction. So, any of you should remember one shloka in the earlier chapters. Kim karma kima karmeti. Huh? How does one be in action even though seemingly performing all action? So, how to move from action to inaction doesn't mean physically being inactive. Lazily, sleeping. Spirituality means sleeping. No, you should be active. At the same time, the mind is totally inactive. How to get that? So what are the three principles? Again, from what? Known to the unknown. From sound to silence. From action to inaction. This is the path. So, Bhagavan, after explaining the supreme truth as Sat Chit Swarupam earlier, now wants to take the approach of first focusing on something that is cognizable. From there, he will take you systematically to the unknown, which is pure consciousness. Clear so far? Understand the subject matter and how you are approaching. All of you download the ebooks. I'll give you another 12 hours till the next class starts. That then we can, because I just want about 15, 20 I've downloaded. Hopefully you have found, whoever has downloaded and found it useful or not. The book, it's very comprehensive, very well organized, very well done by our team. Our team is more than 50 people are dedicated to writing these ebooks. It's not easy. That's very complex concepts are being brought out in very simple summary, just 8, 10, 12 pages. You should really thank them for what they've done. So now look at how the chapter begins. Can you chant with the first sloka which you learned earlier? First sloka, 10th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Bhuya eva mahabaho Shruну me paramam vachaha Yatteham priyamanaya Vakshyami hita kamyaya. So, the reason we are chanting this sloka again is to give you certain wonderful sentences from Shankara Bhashyam. I told you, you all can buy Shankara Bhashyam, various sources again. If you're not able to get Samatha Book House, buy Gita Book House. So don't be focused on one. That's why I give multiple publications. Chaukamba is there. Buy from them. Buy the book and have the Shankara Bhashyam book with you. So that when I read out, you first connect this select few sentences. Later, with the study Bhashyam in detail, take special classes who are interested to study only Bhashyam. And again, time kudukano. If you've got time for everything else, not for this, then you see, just by for doing pranayama, dhyanam, 15 minutes is gone. Every class or not, NRS. Is it useful or not? I want to find out. Or shall you skip that 15 minutes? Huh? You're all able to practice dhyanam every day regularly, then I can skip that. Huh? Shall we do it or shall we skip it? It is required. Okay, all of you saying, because I know unless you sit down and focus, it's difficult to practice. So at least 4 classes, you please do this regularly. Now Bhagavan, for some of these words are very, nice but difficult to understand. Acharya has given you good definition. Look at what is the meaning of certain words. So when he says bhuyaha eva, bhuyaha, punaha, again Bhagavan is saying about what shrunu me madiyam paramam prakrishtam Niratishaya vastunaha prakashakam vachaha vakyam. So these are all very, very elevated, exalted, very powerful words. So don't ignore. Be very careful. No, careful listen to all these things. Yat paramam te tubhyam. Te means tubhyam to you. Priyamanaya. That's what I want to focus. Because many people are not explaining the word Priyamanaya very well. Priyamanaya means, Acharya is saying beautifully, Mad vachanat priyase tvam ativa amrutam iva piban. I'll tell you in English what it means. So now understand how many chapters are over as of now. No, that you should know. Before you begin the 10th chapter, how many chapters are done? 9 chapters. And what is 9 chapters? Exactly 50% of Bhagavad Gita. Yes or no? Mid stage. So at the midpoint, Bhagavan wants to make sure that you are continuously interested and connected to the Bhagavad Gita. Are you getting the point? That is one way of teaching. Normally, the midpoint, beginning, people will be very, very energetic. Towards the end also, they will get some energy. Why? Because the class is going to end. Midpoint is when people will start sleeping. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita, midpoint, we'll all sleep. Arjuna also may have slightly dozed off, but he wants to encourage Arjuna. So the good teacher will not say, hey, don't sleep, get up. No, they won't say like that. They say something to make the student interested. So here Acharya is saying that the Priyamanaya should be interpreted as that, hey Arjuna, I'm seeing you are very delighted hearing to my words. As if, that Arjuna is interested. Even though Arjuna may not be interested, he say, oh, Bhagavan is saying that I'm very interested. Internally, I know I'm totally, not, but even then he'll start becoming interested. Getting the point? So, mad vachanat priyase tvam. Priyase, that mad vachanat, that means about my words, with respect to my words, you are very, very interested, delighted to hear ativa. Very interested. How? Amritamiva. As if, suppose I give you a nectar, Amritam, you will go, take it, so interestedly. Similar to that, As if my words are nectarian, you are so interested to hear them. You are delighted hearing these words. So, piban, as if drinking nectar, you are taking this words. There was a sloka earlier. What? Dugdham Gitamritam Mahate. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Martanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Mande Jagadgurum. And then what? सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दुग्धा गोपालनंदनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता dugdham Gitamritam Mahate. So Gita should be looked at it from the standpoint of Bhagavan's nectarian word. So if you have lost some interest, 9 chapters, 9 more chapters to go, these words should make you very, very, very energetic. So Vakshyam Hitakamyaya Hitechaya. That means what? Bhagavan is what? Does he get anything by saying all these things? Only for our benefit is saying. Then another important point you know, how did this particular chapter get the meaning of what is the chapter's name? Forgotten. Vibhuti Yoga. And so Acharya, by his knowledge of Sanskrit and Shastras, is using the second shloka. Look at second shloka. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam. Underline the word prabhavam. From the word prabhavam, Acharya derives the word vibhum. See how nicely Acharya does. Look at second shloka. So he says, Name viduhu na janati, jananti, suraganaha, brahmadayaha. That's fine. Brahma, including Brahmaji, will not know. Mama prabhavam. Prabhavam. Prabhu Shakti Atishayam. Prabhu Shakti Atishayam. So from the word prabhavam, Acharya converts to prabhavam. Prabhavam means what? Prabhu Shakti Atishayam. Prabhu means what? You all know Prabhu. What is Prabhu? Prabhu means what? Lord. Prabhu Shakti Atishayam. Atishaya Shakti, extremely great power of the Lord is called Prabhu Shakti Atishayam. From Prabhu comes the word Vibhu. And so the word Vibhuti comes. And that's why Acharya gives one interpretation, that is Prabhu Shakti. So Prabhavam is equal to Prabhu Shakti. Athava Prabhavam Prabhavanam Utpattim. So Prakarshena Bhavati iti Prabhavam. The render interpretation. Acharya, just one glimpse of Acharya's greatness. Okay, I'm not going to go in detail. One Prabhavam as Prabhavam, another Prabhavam as Prakarshena Bhavati. Prakarshena Bhavanam. Bhavati means manifestation. So, Prakarshena Bhavati, how something manifests. For something to manifest, you need to have origin. So, Prabhavam means Utpattim, creation. Are you getting the point? So, nobody can know Bhagavan's Prabhavam means what? Now get the meaning. Nobody can understand what? Prabhavam na maharshayaha. So, na maharshayaha, name suraganaha. Nobody, neither the sages nor the gods, can know my Prabhavam means what? Two things. Neither my greatness. Focus on the subject matter, Bhanumati madam, please. Or my origin. Clear? Are you getting the point? Slightly, no, I hope you're all understanding. Slightly complex. Easy or not? Again, Prabhavam ki meaning. Why I'm saying all this because unless you are able to understand the way Acharya is getting the meaning from the Bhashyam, you will not understand Upanishads or Brahma Sutras. And that's the reason some areas I'm preparing you for the next level of study. So nobody has sort of focused on this. Prabhavam. What are the two meanings? One, in English, I'll tell you. One is greatness, two, origin. So nobody can define the greatness of the Supreme, nor can they define the origin of Supreme. This is more easy now, with which understanding now? Simple, no? And so for that, Bhagavan give example. If normal human beings do not know, you will go to what? Different sages. No? And Maharshayaha, greatest sages. And Acharya gives Bhruguhu, like Bhrugu. Because later Bhagavan is going to say Maharshinam Bhriguraham. That Acharya is quoting here itself. See, greatest stage is Bhrigu. Even he cannot know my origin. Okay, similarly, all the devas, greatest among devas is what? Brahmaji. So, so you can say Vishnu is not actually trying to deride Brahmaji. So don't compare now. Don't think that Krishna Paramahansa is Vishnu deriding Brahmaji. Please understand. The Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara is manifested for us to understand the three aspects of creation, sustenance, dissolution as gods. Ishvara Tattvam cannot be understood even by Brahmaji, Brahmadayaha. So what you will find the word Brahmadayaha. Can you underline that? Hmm? So, so Bhagavan is saying that nobody can understand me. Suraganaha, Brahmadayaha. Did you find the word? Suraganaha. What does Suraganaha mean? Last class I told you. Just want to test how much you are interested and focused. Suraganaha, gods. Who is the greatest among gods? Brahmaji. Okay, so you know that is why even during Homam, what we will do? Indraya Swaha, Indra is one Brahmane Swaha. Connect with Karma Kanda, right? So, greatest among the gods is Brahma. Even they cannot understand. That is what is told in all the stories. So, Brahmaji once tried to find out the what? The origin, the top and the bottom of Maheshwara. They couldn't find out. You remember? There's a story. Both Vishnu and Brahmaji were asked to find the origin, the beginning and the end, top and bottom of Maheshwara. And so they couldn't find out. All the stories are given. The stories are given to make you understand the concept and the inbuilt meaning and the knowledge. But what happens? Generally, Malati madam, they all get stuck only in stories, lifelong listening only to stories. Listen to Sundarakandam for 40 years. How will you move forward? Huh? So understand the knowledge behind all the stories through the Vedanta Shastras. Clear? So no one can understand. So now, Bhagavan now begins the Vibhuti per se by pointing out the key aspects of the supreme truth. First the key aspects, then the details. Loka number 3. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Yo Mam Ajamanadim Cha Vetti Loka Maheshwaram Asammudhas Samartyeshu Sarvapapai Pramuchyate.
श्रीभगवानुवाच यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते.
Very good. All together. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Yo Mamajamanadim Cha Vetti Lokamaheshwaram Asammudhas Samartyeshu Sarvapapai Pramuchyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, what is the first appreciation of the supreme principle? Bhagavan says, among the people, there are two types. One set of people who have got Viveka Shakti, discriminative power. Among the other set of people, who the other set? Who don't have any discrimination, indiscriminate, indiscreet. They follow whatever they think. They don't look at what is the right method of understanding, right method of life principles, no dharma, nothing. So there are discriminating, indiscriminate people. So Bhagavan says that people who got vivekam, that means what? Who got viveka shakti, ability to discriminate between what is right, what is wrong, what is truth, what is seemingly real. They are called people who got vivekis, who go and get vivekam, finally jnanam. And those people are also given another word, asammudhaha. Write down. Word is very difficult. That's why I'm going to explain in detail. Mudhaha. First. Don't look at the book. No, write down what I'm saying. Then sammudhaha, samyak mudhaha. Then asammudhaha, mudhaha. So mudhaha means immediately you get one word. What is the word? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Now you're connecting now. Mudaha means not just fool, who is totally what? Whose thinking has been incapacitated by the world, who has got what? Totally mind is dissolved in the world, and so looking at the world loses oneself. So Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandham, everything, all the sound, the picture, the smell, the taste. Aha, how nice Rasagulla is, how nice Samosa is, how nice this picture is, how nice this no money is, position. So totally lost in the world. Moham is called Mudhaha. Clear? Mudha doesn't mean only fool. Nah, was lost in the world. Some Mudha means what? Samyak Mudaha. Perfectly, totally dissolved in the world, no way to come out. Correct? Eh? That's why Drishtva Mohamayim Pramada Madiram. I told you one sloka. Unmatta Bhutam Jagate Sammudaha. Asammudaha means opposite. In Sanskrit, for a noun form, when you put akaram, it is opposite. So asammudaha means person who is not what? Stolen away by the world. That mind is not stolen away by the world. That world is not getting into the mind of the person who has got Viveka Shakti, discriminative power, knows there is something that the world is doing which is trying to lure me away. I'll not get ensnarled in this world. So that person asammudaha. Clear? Asammudaha means Viveki. So among all the human beings, there are certain people who do not what? Get caught up in the world, but they withdraw from the world and try to focus on supreme truth, which is the cause of the world. And so Bhagavan says that those people have studied the Shastras and have known me. Me doesn't mean Krishna Paramatma. Me means what? The supreme principle, Ishvara Tattvam, as something that is birthless, anadi. One of the first what? Appreciation of the Ishvara Tattvam. You should not ask, when was Ishvara born? Nah. That question, if you start asking, that means what? You are sammudaha. Asammudaha, first thing the person know that the supreme principle is birthless. Birthless doesn't mean has not taken birth. Please understand, English is very strange. Birthless means what? Has no origin. What will have an origin? That which was not present at some point in time, but present later only will have an origin. Now, the concept of time itself, is it real or seemingly real? I told you some time back. That's why all the other chapters have been done. Nah. So, time itself is relative. Bhagavan is beyond time. So, you cannot not even think about an origin, because origin itself means connected to time. So, slightly deep or understanding. Anything with respect to origin means time will come into picture. Bhagavan is Desha Kala Atitam. Write down. Desha Kala Karana Atitam. Beyond space, beyond time, beyond causation. So the causeless cause. So there can be no question of Bhagavan Supreme Truth being born at some point in time. Now look at the statement very carefully. When Krishna Paramatma is saying, I am birthless, was Krishna born or not? Quickly, now answer should come. This is more simple. All of you said Krishna Charitram. You all know what? Celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. When Krishna Paramatma, who is saying, who was born on one particular day, right? Krishna Janmashtami, is saying, I am birthless. Means, what does it mean? When Bhagavan says, now are you able to think? Na Atmanan Buriyada. When Krishna Paramatma is saying, I am birthless after being born, that means what? Krishna Paramatma is not referring to himself as Krishna. Krishna Paramatma is referring himself to Supreme Brahma Tattvam. Are you getting now? Ishvara Tattvam. This is where everybody makes a mistake. Dvaita Vedantam, Vishishta Dvaita Vedantam, Another group called Krishna consciousness, that this all make fundamental mistake because they don't study Shastras. When somebody is saying that I'm birthless after being born, that means what? Not into the physical form, but Brahmatattvam. So Bhagavan says, if you are able to start this process of understanding Ishvara Tattvam as something, as a supreme principle, not a physical form, name, qualities, Ashabdam Asparsham. See, now look at it. Now, when I take you slowly like this, you're able to understand how Bhagavan is translating the Upanishad mantras to very simple words so that you can appreciate the deeper concept. The word birthless itself has got so much of meaning. So Bhagavan says, one, how to understand the greatness of the Supreme. First is, the Supreme is birthless. Write down. From here, we'll start making a lot of notes. Supreme is birthless. First one. Second is causeless. So for everything else, there is a cause. Why? Because everything in the universe is an effect. I told you in the last class. And what is the supreme cause of everything? Supreme principle. Brahman is the cause of everything. Janmandyasya yataha, from which everything is born. That cause has no cause. Slightly, it's looking complicated. That's why you went to 9th chapter, should have given you some amount of intellectual approach. 10th is even more to understand. Clear? Are you understanding now? Causeless cause. That cause, which is the cause of everything, has no cause, because the cause can never have what? The effect at its origin. Effect will have some aspects of the cause. Effect will have a cause. The fundamental cause cannot have a cause. Are you getting? Karanam. Write down. Karanam is equal to cause. Karyam is equal to effect. So all the entities in the world are called Karyam. Bhagavan is a causeless cause. So he is the Karanam for everything. Clear? So now what are the second important understanding is what? Supreme is causeless. What is the first one? Supreme is birthless. Very good. 2, Supreme is causeless. Okay. Now, from where does the entire universe and the beings emanate? From the Supreme. So, if you create something, you become its lord. Yes or no? Suppose they create something, it's under your control. Suppose you go and buy a car, Tesla car. The car is under your control, right? It cannot behave on its own. When you start, it will start, right? Like that. When somebody creates or owns something, you become the Lord. So when the entire creation is created by the Supreme, so the entire creation, the Lord is what? Supreme principle, Lord of all the beings, Lord of the universe. So understand Bhagavan as these three first. Later we can look at all other aspects. Okay. Now all this is relative understanding with respect to something. Are you getting the point? With respect to birth, Supreme is birthless. With respect to the effect, Supreme is causeless. With respect to all the beings that are manifested, both living, non-living matter, Supreme is the Lord. Now you see how Bhagavan is taking you systematically from the known to the unknown. This is called Adhyaropa Apavadam. The only way to understand Supreme. Vedanta is all about this methodology. So by showing something and saying it is not, and negating that, you get a concept. That concept should pierce through your mind and establish. So during studying Vedanta, for some time you'd be say, okay, I'm understanding. Once you leave the Vedanta class, Gita class, then what happens? All this will be forgotten. So constantly come back and study. Are you getting the point? To understand the Supreme is not so easy. So Bhagavan is pointing to something that is known, from there taking you to unknown, right? From birth to birthless. So similarly, cause to causeless, and from the entire universe to being the Supreme Lord of all this. That's a fundamental understanding. And this understanding can come only if you got discriminative power. Yes or no? If you're indiscriminate, indiscreet, and whatever, kamacharaha, kamavadaha, kamabhakshaha, whatever I like, I will eat. Whatever I like to do, I will do. Whatever I want to say, I will say. If you are going to live life like that, it's called indiscriminate. Start following dharma, slowly follow the right principles in life. Then only you develop this mind of Viveka Shakti. And that's when you can start appreciating the higher nature of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is saying, whosoever is able to understand this, that means what? You have to move from sammudhaha to asammudhaha. Oh, start with Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Start from there to karma yoga, upasana, then study Vedanta Shastra, Chitta Shuddhi, and get this jnanam. So, if you are able to come to this level, what is that you will get? Look at it, one sloka, Bhagavan is in the entire summary, both the process, the knowledge, and the result. This person who understands my true nature. My true nature doesn't mean Krishna Paramatma. True nature means supreme principle will be freed from all the sins. How can just by knowledge be freed from all the sins? All the sins include also what? Prarabdha karma, I told you. Sanchita karma, Agami karma, three types of karma. From that, the most difficult to get freed is what? Which one? Sanchita karma, you cannot dissolve, cannot erase by any karma, any upasana. Only by jnanam you can destroy what? Sanchita karma. So, Sanchita karma also has got Sanchita papam. You chant one sloka, no? Sanchita papa vinashana lingam tat pranamami sada shivaling. Oh, very nice to chant. But now understand, in the study Vedanta, you live to appreciate one small sloka we chant. Yes or no? Nah. Lingashtakam, everybody chants, right? From children 2-year-old, 3-year-old to 100-year-old. What is the meaning? Sanchita papa. Vinash. So just there to appreciate, make you religious. They say worship Paramatma. And what is the Shivalingam? Shivalingam is what? Both Rupam and Arupam. It's got any particular form? Cannot say. So from there you have to move to that. That's why Shivalingam is very, very powerful to do dhyanam on for knowing the ultimate. So that only way to remove Sanchita Papam is by Jnanam. What is the sloka we chant every day in the class? Nahi Jnanena Sadrisham Pavitramiha Vidyate, the most sanctifying. So this knowledge of Supreme, that means what? What all you learned in the 9th chapter has to be kept in mind when you begin the 10th chapter. Are you getting? Now what? What did I learn in 9th chapter? Forgot. What should you do? Go back and revise. Do you all remember everything about 9th chapter what we learned? Difficult, no? Huh? That is why the ebook is there. Download. Even now, download the ebook of 9th chapter. Go back and study all the key principles. We repeat that. We'll do only 9th chapter for another 9 years. I don't want to do that. You understanding? So, Bhagavan has set the tempo in the 3rd sloka. And what is the takeaway? You all like takeaway, right? We can go and eat takeaway. What is the takeaway? Takeaway is revise the 9th chapter. 3 key aspects which are already explained in detail in 9th chapter. What are they? The Supreme is birthless. Supreme is causeless. Supreme is also the Lord of the entire created universe, is seemingly real. Clear? Huh? This is what Bhagavan told earlier. Ajopi san abhyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Somewhere we heard this, or no? Now you see how to connect different shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. What is the meaning? Ajaha api san, though I am unborn. Avyayatma, I am the pure conscious principle. Avyayam, never decaying, ever present, everlasting. What? Pure conscious principle. Bhutanam Ishvaraha, Lord of all the beings. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So, Ajaha api san, Avyayatma api san, Bhutanam Ishvaro api san. I don't need to come down in this physical form. Even then, what I'm doing in as Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya. I myself come in human form. Then only you start connecting with the human form, right? Sambhavami Samyak bhavami. I manifest myself. Atma mayaya, from my own maya. So all that hopefully you remember all these slokas. I'm just quoting. Otherwise, you go and see Gita study. People three makki ka makki simply say something. 99% don't know Gita. I can say with lot of maturity. So study this Gita systematically like this. Okay, now look at what are the three takeaway? Finally, three principles. Supreme is birthless. Supreme is causeless. Supreme is the Lord of all manifest and what? Manifest living and non-living principles. How is it told in Padavibhaga Anmaya? Now you see next level of depth in the study. Padavibhaga Anmaya. Now all of you become alert. Kripa Veko. Now take paper, pen, write 1, 2, 3. Yaha Mam Ajam Anadim. See now all the words make sense. When I say Ajam, aha, okay. ஜம்முன்னு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லலாம். தமிழ் ஜம் கிடையாது. இது சான்ஸ்கிரிட் ஜம் வேற, தமிழ் ஜம் வேற. புரியுதா? தமிழ்ல ஜம்முனா என்ன? வெரி நைஸ். அஜம் ஜம் மீன்ஸ் ஜன்மா is called jam. Ajam means what? Ajam means what? Not born. That's why the word pankajam is there. A lot of people keep name pankajam. எவ்வளவு இருக்கு பாருங்க. ஒரு வார்த்தை so many meaning. பங்கஜம்னா பங்கஜம்னு இருக்கா அர்த்தம் இல்ல. What is pankajam? Anybody? Pankajam means what? Why it's called lotus? That which is born in the slush. From the slush it is born. From the mud or muddy, what is born? It's called pankajam. Understand? Now you see Sanskrit, how to study? If you go to Sanskrit course, you will not get Sanskrit. I can guarantee you. You can take Sanskrit course for 10 years, you will not get. There is a way to understand Sanskrit only by taking relevant names, understand the meaning, improve dictionary, study Subhashita, study Shastra, then we will get Sanskrit. Okay. Yaha, Mam, see one Ajam is enough. Ajam, Anadim, Cha, Veti, Lokamaheshwaram. One word. Here. Asammudhaha. Now this word I have defined. Should all be very comfortable with the word. Asammudhaha. Saha Martyeshu. The word when it comes Martyeshu comes, it becomes Saptami Vibhakti. Note down. Very easy. Martyeshu. Sarva papaihi pramuchyate. Clear? 12. Very good. Ravindranath. Now, all of you got 12. Somebody got 11, 13. All of you got 12, right? Now, how interesting it is Gita study. You cannot go to sleep. Study Brahma Vidya, Gita. Okay, now look at the Anmaya. Martyeshu. Saha Asammudhaha. Very nicely constructed actually. Yaha Veti Mam. First group. Okay, there's some qualification criteria. The right way of knowing Bhagavan, there's a qualification that is defined by this set first group. What is that? Martyeshu Saha Asammudhaha Yaha Veti Mam. Clear so far? Look at the Anvaya. Okay, now. As what? Second group. Ajam Anadim Cha Lokamaheshwaram. Second group. See? Nicely categorize the Loka into three different groups like this. What is second group? Ajam Anadim Cha Lokamaheshwaram. The third group is the result. Pramuchyate Sarva Papaihi. Are you getting the point? You got the Anvaya, PVA team? Third group is what? Pramuchyate Sarva Papaihi. Look at the construct of this sloka. The first part talks about the eligibility criteria, the qualifications required. Clear? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi, that is required. The second is the knowledge that you will get through study of Vedanta Shastras. The third is the phalam or the result of this knowledge. Are you getting now? So in one shloka, Bhagavan has condensed entire the Vedanta Shastras, the criteria, the process, and the result. Now are you able to understand? Anubandha Chatushtayam is there in this. Now, look at the individual meaning. Martyeshu. Martyaha means what? Martyaha means subject to death. Subject to mrityu is called Martyaha. Subject to mrityu means what? Who are subject to mrityu? Human beings. You are born as a human being and die as a human being without knowledge. If you die as an Ajnani, you are subject to rebirth, so you die. Provided you get Jnanam, there is no birth, there is no death. Please understand. So, Bhartyeshu means among human beings, since they are subject to death. Why are they subject to death? Why are people subject to death? Because they have not got the Jnanam. Only a person who gets Jnanam will not be subject to birth and death. Are you getting the point? You may be born as an Ajnani, but you should not die as an Ajnani. See how much of meaning is there in one word. Yes, all of us are born as Ajnani without having the one supreme truth. But today we have to make a resolution that we should not die as an Ajnani. Iha chedavedhi tatasatyamasti. Achediha vedin mahati vinashtihi. Clear? And why? What is now? Write down. There's an Upanishad mantra which says, if you don't understand supreme truth, you'll be born again and again. If you're born again and again, means you'll die again and again. You'll become martyeshu. Write down the mantra, wonderful mantra. Manasaivedamaptavyam nehananasti kinchana mrityo samrityumapnoti Yaihananeva pashyati. We're going to study Kathopanishad. I'm giving you the what some people release somewhat na, before the film they'll do something. No, what they will do? Okay, I forgot. I forget all this. No, Laukika terms. They'll give film. No? Trailer. Trailer or teaser. That they'll say 1 million people watched. Whether 1 million watch this or not, hear this or not, you hear. This is a teaser for Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad mantra. Now, Meenakshi 2.1.11. Manasaivedam aptavyam nehananasti kinchana. So mind alone, refined mind. Guru Shastra Sampradaya Susamskrita Manaha. From that only, what you should do? Manasa eva idam aptavyam. You should understand that all that is present, seemingly entities. What? No, they are not different. Seemingly they are different, but actually they are not different. If you don't understand this, that means what? If you don't understand the Brahma Tattvam behind the existence of all the entities, you are a Ajnani. So, when Ajnani, what happens? Yama Dharmaraja says, Mrityo Samrityumapnoti. So, you will go from death to death. That means what? Not directly. From death, you will be born again, you will die again. Again born, enjoy the world, enjoy muddy, die. Again born, then have what? Daily 5 idlis, no water, eat everything, enjoy muddy, and all those. Spend time, nice time, die. Keep on happening again and again. Please understand. You're somewhere you should arise awake. Think what is happening? Why am I going through all these things? What is the permanent solution? Only when knowledge of Supreme become asammudaha among martyeshu. So please understand, the Brahmajnanam is the goal. So saha sammudaha. First step is don't get caught up in the world, too much in the world. World is only relative, required for our existence, sustenance, that is fine. Beyond that, the opportunity of Manushya Janma must be used to get the highest truth. That is why Martyeshu Saha Sammudaha. So among all the beings which are born and die, among all the mortals, mortal being, what is mortality? Mortality is the amount of life you got. His death is hidden in the word mortality. Among mortal beings, among human beings, Saha Asammudaha, only those people who have got discriminative power, Viveka Shakti, who are not caught up in the world, who take the Vedanta Marga. So much to say, time is not there. Yaha Veti Mam. Among all the people, there are only certain people who are indiscriminate people. There are some discriminate people. Only those people, Viveka Shakti, Mam Veti, know me. Clear? Huh? That means what? Everybody cannot know Bhagavan. For knowing Bhagavan, what is required? You have to get out of what? Totally getting lost in the world. I'm not saying don't get don't. I'm not asking you to take sannyasam. You should be in the world at the same time, be slightly detached and disconnected. That is called vairagyam through vivekam. If you got that and understand the supreme as what? I'll quickly word meaning, then I'll take detail next class. Ajam should know Bhagavan as what? Second is the knowledge. The knowledge you will get only when you study Vedanta Shastra. Just today, it's only a indication Bhagavan is saying, some kind of belief you will have. But that belief should be converted to what? Doubtless knowledge. Ajam, to be birthless. Anadim. Na adim iti anadim. So, ajam is, I told you meaning earlier. Ajam means what? So, that principle is no birth is called ajam. Very good. Jam, ajam. Okay. So, then anadim. Na adim, anadim. Adim means what? That which has got a cause. Here it is causeless. Means what? Causeless cause. Causeless is what? Nobody can know. No, there is no cause for this particular cause because ever present. So causeless bracket ever present. Never ever disappearing. So causeless. Cha Loka Maheshwaram. Very easy. Loka means what? Entire universe. Universe contains both living and non-living. Thabara Jangamam Maheshwaram, the Lord of the entire universe. So, what are the three things at least first you should clearly establish in the mind? In Sanskrit, you now repeat Ajam, Anadim, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Ajam, Anadim, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. If you start the process studying Vedanta Shastras, establish yourself in the doubtless knowledge of the Supreme Truth. Then what happens? Pramuchyate, prakarshena muchyate. Muchyate means you will be freed. Pramuchyate, definitely freed, totally freed, completely freed. Today we can say, I'm free now. All the work is done, so I'm free. Are you permanently free? Once again, you have to start working. If you think that you are getting freed from work just because you got a weekend holiday, or you can get up late on Saturday, Sunday morning, I'm free today, you'll think. Yes or no? That is temporary freedom. In no time, time will come and take away Saturday, Sunday, Monday will come, start running again. Correct? Freedom should be in the mind. Totally free in the mind. Becomes freed from what? Sarva papaihi. Which vibhakti it is? Panchami Bahuvachana. Write down. Sarva papaihi. From all the sins, you will be freed. As I told you, Sanchita Papam can be removed only by Jnanam. By no other means, neither by karma nor upasana, then not of all is bhajana, nama sankirtana, nothing can help. Only Jnanam will help. Nahi Jnanena sadrisham. So understand now what is the beginning of the 10th chapter Vibhuti Yoga itself. Bhagavan has told you from a very, very high standpoint. So you say, so it's going to be very difficult. Bhagavan told it's easy, made it very difficult. So what Bhagavan is going to do? He's going to make it very easy as you go forward to recognize supreme principle. What? In more terms that are connectable. We'll see how Bhagavan further develop this particular chapter. Some more little bit detail on the third shloka. I'll take in about 12 hours from now. And then we can continue further. All of you please download the 10th chapter ebook, because as you see, if you study with the ebook, you are able to understand better or not. So make sure you download. We'll go through that book when we take up the next class. Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishna 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 Shubhamastu. समस्त सन्मंगलानि भवन्त्येत हरि ओम नारायण।